Hey there, hi there, ho there, and welcome on a Thursday morning, the Marshall County Today Show that aims at informing you about stories and people and wonderful businesses around your neighborhood. Today, we're on the business side of things as we welcome back to our Auto Park Studios the very lovely Jaime Beckwith of the Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home family. And Jaime, good morning. How you doing, sweetheart?
Good morning. I am great this morning.
Great to see you. Looking great as always. And I just got to say a little plug-in for you guys. I recently had to attend a funeral service that you guys took care of, and bravo.
Thank you.
Bravo. I mean, it was very welcoming when you walk into the door on a somber occasion. Everything that you needed to do to make it as comfortable as possible, you did that. And I appreciate that because I don't like going to funeral homes to begin. No offense. I'm not a funeral home person. But you guys just above and beyond, there's a tagline that we have for you on our sports that says it's service beyond expectation. Bingo.
Yes.
Bingo, game, set, match, Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home.
Well, and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. That's why you entrust a funeral home to help plan your celebration of life or help prepare your life tribute, because there's things that we just think of and do that you're not going to get when you plan something on your own.
Right.
There's peace and comfort in having someone handle everything start to finish, from flower placement to the programs to running the music and all of those other things. That's what we're there for. Yeah.
And you did it. So thank you for doing that and taking care of my friends and their family. And It was a wonderful service to begin with, but like I said, you guys had it covered. Jimmy Smart, love that guy.
He's a good guy.
He's an ace, and so like I said, just thank you. And I wanted to give you that personal testimony to you, in front of you, and to my thousands of listeners who are listening in right now, my 2,800 right now at this very moment. I just think it's just impressive what you guys do.
Thank you.
So thank you for doing that. Anything new and exciting happening with Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home? You're here for a couple reasons, but
I'm here for a lot of reasons this morning.
Okay.
So we've been doing our monthly segment of funeral service education. I'm switching gears a little bit this morning.
Okay.
We've talked a lot before about how involved our team is in the community, and I don't think it's always put in perspective as to how involved we are until we talk about it. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of things coming up right now. Coming up on October 4th, there's St. Michael's Fall Fest. Patty Welch, who's on our team, heads that up, so she has tickets for that. And then Jim Smart helps lead up Link to Hope. They're having their annual meeting and dinner on October 9th.
Yes.
Jimmy, if you're listening and you hear this and I was wrong, I'm sorry.
I'm almost positive because I'm supposed to MC that. I think that's correct.
I think it's the 9th.
Yeah.
So that's coming up.
It is the 9th, right, Patricia? Just to make sure my Link to Hope? Yes.
Perfect.
So,
October 9th, Link to Hope.
You're on it today.
That'll be at the Columbus Club. Wendy Holloway, our pre-planning advisor, she just finished out leading up the Blueberry Splash that helps raise funds for children to receive swimming lessons. So we just have a team that's really involved and cares a whole lot about the community.
And you've been doing this for years, by the way, not just recently.
This week, yeah. This
you've
has been an ongoing.
This for years. So there's your commitment, folks, to this funeral home that touches lives. I mean, not that you only do it every day, but I mean, reaching out and making sure that you guys are a valuable source in this community. But, you're heavily involved also with Dustins Place, and talk about that first of all.
So Dustins Place is a children's grief center right here in Plymouth. We provide grief support for children and adults at no cost to them. So one of the events that we have coming up is November 1st. It's our biggest fundraiser of the year, and this event truly helps to allow us to continue to provide grief support at no cost to the families, because typically they've either incurred medical expenses or they just lost a primary income, and they shouldn't have to worry about where the money's going to come from to find support for their family.
Yeah, I love how quick Dustin's Place has got the attention of everybody. You know, when Vicky, I think, when she started this, I don't know if she even knew how impactful this was going to be. She knew there was a need, but man, has this nonprofit organization just helped so many. And there's a lot of families that, you know, we all grieve in ways, but there's a lot of families who also have that that added stress of paying for things. And I mean, folks, we've all lost somebody. But knowing that you got an organization that is thinking of them, well, you know, you talk about a burden lifted. Bam, Dustin's Place is right there.
I was just talking with someone the other day, and we talk about, from a funeral home standpoint, we're there for families literally minutes after they lose their person, and we're with them heavily in that first week. But what happens after the service has ended and, you know, the dust has kind of settled and everyone goes home and you're expected to go back, you know, to your day-to-day life, and you're going to work tomorrow and you're still grieving, and, you know, people stop checking in and people stop asking, you know,
Life
talking about your loved one. Yes. So, you know, I had made the statement of saying, you know, the goal is that when people walk out of our doors, they can walk into the doors at Dustin's Place with open arms. And it's totally different than talking to, you know, a family member or a friend that may have not gone through the loss that you've gone through. And there's some comfort in even walking into a room full of strangers. But let me tell you, those strangers get it.
Yeah.
Because they are walking through the same grief journey right now.
Well, and, you know, that's just it. Resources are also provided
Absolutely.
by Dustin's Place. I you know, you sit back and you talk to Vicky and everything, that it's almost like she made it a mission when she started this thing to say, I'm grieving, my child's grieving differently. You know, where can we go? Who's there? And the sole mission from Dustin, from that point forward was, we're gonna make this happen.
Yes.
We're gonna be there
Because we're one of 4
Yeah,
children's grief centers in the state of Indiana, in the entire
4.
state.
Just that's a just 4. There should be tons more.
And if anyone knows there's not enough resources, it's us at the funeral home.
Right. Yeah.
So if I can help
absolutely.
dedicate some time to raise funds to continue this as a resource and allow it to grow into surrounding counties, then so be it.
Now, you were just telling me that with this big fundraiser coming up in November, that you guys about already hit the halfway mark of selling tickets.
We are dang on close. So it's coming up November 1st, hosted at Four Winds Casino. It's on a Friday this year, and we are so excited for what is to come. I can't give up all my secrets of the evening, but it's our 4th gala, and we're celebrating 5 years of Dustin's Place. So it will be bigger and better than ever before.
Boy, it just seems you guys just started, and here we're talking 5 years already going.
I know.
Wow.
A lot's happened since then.
Boy, and all great, all great. You know, talk a little bit about, you know, I think I might have told Vicky in her 2nd year, be prepared. You're going to get big. You know, you can just see it, because when you talk to Vicky, you feel the passion of her wanting to help.
Yes.
Touch lives at the most vulnerable part of a grieving mom or children, you know, or even dad, as some scenarios are. You just tell she was, after losing her husband, you know, it was, we need to step up and do something. I need to do something. And I just remember talking with her, and I still do, about, you know, when I get a chance to see her. Listen, there's this grieving part we all got to go through. We got to do it our own way, because nobody's the same. You know, so patience is always a virtue for starters, but just, she got it.
She turned her grief into action.
Exactly
and lives
what
and
she
breathes
did.
it every single day.
I mean, that's just a good cup of coffee. I don't care what anybody says.
Yep.
And when you have someone who has such heart behind it, and a big heart led, by the way, man, you can't feel but want to just help out in ways that you can.
Yes.
and
Whether it's volunteering or donating or.
Well, and that's what you've done.
Yeah.
You've been with them almost the entire time, right?
4 years now.
4
so
years?
I came on officially in December of 2020. We just opened our doors and went through a pandemic.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And like I said, we've gone through a lot in such a short amount of time, and things that should have tore us down, if anything, only made us stronger. But there are so many ways to be involved that, if you're interested, or that's something that speaks to you, that you're grieving your own and you want to help others, just call us.
Yeah.
Just give us a call, and we can find a place where you can belong and help.
Yeah. It's, to me, that's worth it, and, I remember losing my parents. You go through those cycles of, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't, just give me space. And sometimes you got to do that. Don't get me wrong. But boy, I probably could have had someone in my ear helping me get through my grief. And I didn't. To be quite honest with you, when my dad, he was the first of my two parents to pass, I went a completely different route, and it wasn't good. I turned to alcohol, and that was a low point in my life, because I struggled grieving. I was second guessing myself of my relationships with my parents, and and sometimes you just get into a hole that you feel you're not going to be able to dig out.
And it's okay to have others help dig you out.
And you're so right. I had great friends that helped me. And all of a sudden, obviously my faith really helped me out. At least the beginning of my faith really helped me out, because I needed to look. Yeah. I needed to start finding some answers, because it wasn't good. And I have no problem telling people about my story. But you know what? I'm like everybody else, just in different situations. And like you said, when you get involved with Dustin's Place, you're preaching to the choir. The choir knows what you're going through. It's just different circumstances than what they've gone through or are currently going through.
Well, and maybe they're further along in their story, so they can say, "Hey, when I was going through this."
Yeah, and that means so much, because it's someone who is relating to you because they have gone through it.
I feel like the thing I hear the most is people stop talking about my loved one. Yeah. So, I'm a firm believer, continue to say their name. Like, their memory will live on as long as someone's talking about them.
Yeah. Yeah. I
tell
like
their
that
story, talk about how much you love them. Like,
man, when I went at church, there's people who go to church that remember my mom and dad when they're in the middle of nowhere in Stark County, 7 miles from Knox, 5 miles from North Judson, 3 miles from Toto, Indiana. But they'd always come and do their grocery shopping with us, and they remember that. And I just sit down and I get a little teary-eyed, and she goes, "Oh, I don't." I mean, they say, "Didn't mean to get you upset. You're not getting me upset."
No, and that's what people don't understand. You're not upsetting me by talking about them.
No, you're not. And what you're doing is helping me continue to remember what life has kind of forced me to forget. Not for any particular reason. It just happens sometimes. Yeah. This is why I've just connected so well with Dustin's Place, and I understand what they're doing and how important it is to give people an opportunity to reach out in their roughest points of their life.
Yes.
So I don't mean to be doing all the talking here. I'm just, as you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about what they do and how important they are in our communities.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad we got businesses like you guys at Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home who understand that very same mission. Yeah. Like I said, I think more people need to do a little bit more research on Dustin's Place and see what they do. And if anybody who's a person you want to talk to in a moment of grieving, Vicky,
she's awesome.
She knows exactly, feels your pain, and and you tend to learn there's things that you need to do. But the best thing any of us could ever do is listen.
Just sometimes we hear, oh, well, I don't need that right now. Okay, you might not need that right now, and I respect that. There's plenty of people that do, and if anyone knows, death is not, it's the only thing that's guaranteed, death and taxes.
You got that right.
So while you might not need it right now, there's going to come a point in your life that, again, we're going to be there with open arms to welcome you.
Yeah. And it's amazing, once you start talking, you won't be able to be quiet.
Yeah.
You know, you got so many emotions that come out and remembrances of things and people that you feel good knowing the fact you've got stories to tell.
Yep.
And memories to share. That's just the way the good Lord, I think, made us. We just got to get rid of our stubbornness and just let people know you're human too, and any little bit of help is always appreciated. But like you said, that's a tough thing to do.
It is.
And like I said, Dustin's place has a place in our society, and I hope more people get a little more invested into it. Yeah. For the amount of lives and the amount of emotional roller coasters that an individual goes through when they lose somebody, they just sit and they'll listen.
Well, and we don't just have group on Monday, well, every other Monday night anymore. We also have a team that goes into the area schools, and they lead groups with, different age groups in our community schools that maybe they can't make it to Monday night, or
sure,
whatever the circumstances. There's even some kids that are in the school groups and they come to Monday night, but it gives them an opportunity once again to tell their story with their peers.
Yeah.
Again, these are other kids that are going through it, and we're not just talking a child in the school.
Right.
We're talking a group.
So, again, we're talking with Jaime from Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home here, and we're just talking about connection, and this funeral home has done more for this community than anybody's ever going to know, because they don't like bragging about it. However, this station, with the amount of listeners we have, I feel that I need to play the role of Gabriel and blow the horn about Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home, whether you like it or not, because you guys reach lives every day. You're there to take care of some of the difficult decisions, ones that you just don't feel like taking care of right now because of the circumstance. And it's an important work that you guys do, even down to the minute details of something. We should all be thankful that you guys take the time to do that.
Thank you.
Well, anything else we want to talk about?
Oh gosh, what time is it? How much?
Well, it's 9:22.
What else are we going to talk about?
Well, I want to kind of backtrack and talk about the Dustin's Place event again.
Yes.
The time and location.
So it's Friday, November 1st, hosted up at Four Winds. Doors open at 5:30. Reservations are required.
Okay.
We're about 50% sold out right now. So I fully anticipate that we'll be sold out by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So anyone who's interested in coming, all you have to go to our website, dustinsplace.org, and go to the events tab, and you can see the breakdown of all the different sponsorship levels and how you can purchase tickets. But those tickets do need to be purchased in advance.
All right, kiddo. We'll let you go because I know you're busy and you got to be at places today. And thank you again for being part of the show, so we can showcase Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home and tell Mom and Dad I said hi and we love them.
I sure will. Thank you so much for having me.
You betcha. That's Jaime Beckwith. Give Johnson-Danielson Funeral Home a call if you want to find out more about Dustin's Place, and let Jaime explain everything about it and how you can become part of Dustin's Place as well. All right, back to wrap it up after this.